All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for a few real people out there, just like you and just like me. Okay, before we get going on this video, Cats in Space, ladies and gentlemen. Don't make fun of this. Don't make fun of the name. Kickstart the sun, baby. If you like Queen, Cheap Trick, and ELO, it's all right here. And these guys know how to write great songs. It's all ear candy. The vocals, the arrangements, the songwriting, the quality of the song. Cats in Space. Don't knock them until you try them. And you can tell your friends, hey, I listen to Cats in Space. And they're going to go, you know what? You've got a few issues you need to deal with, and that's okay. I want to talk about Christine McVie again. And obviously, Christine McVie, I mean, what can you, she's just such a great person. And she just brightened up the music world. And she passed away yesterday at the age of 79. I did my tribute video. I always find that when I do those videos, though, that it's falling short, no matter what what can I say about Christine McVie? I didn't know her personally. I just fell in love with her music in 1975 when Say You Love Me came on the radio. And I went out and bought that white Fleetwood Mac album with, you know, the new lineup featuring Lindsey and Stevie and Christine. Christine, if you go back and listen to that album, her presence is so important for that album. Everybody, you know, they'll talk about Rhiannon all day long, but Christine McVie. And there was a pattern throughout Fleetwood Mac's existence where Christine McVie would show up and save the day. She would write a song, Little Eyes, Don't Stop. I mean, you can go through the list. But what I really think is important in remembering Christine McVie is how she came to the defense of Lindsey Buckingham when he was ousted from this band. Now, I hear that Stevie Nicks is out there saying things like, I lost my best friend. Lost my best friend. That might be true. I don't know. Here's something for Stevie Nicks. So if she was your best friend and she was out there defending Lindsey Buckingham, why didn't you respect the opinion of your best friend, who, by the way, was basically pushed aside a little bit because you have to say, can Fleetwood Mac survive without Lindsey Buckingham? Well, yeah, they can, because we have Stevie Nicks. Stevie Nicks becomes like the centerpiece of that band, because Christine McVie never wanted that type of spotlight, even though she earned it and she deserved it. It was like day and night, really, between the two women. One woman was extremely vocal about everything, very outspoken, almost toxic. The other woman was sweet and reserved and showed class and dignity throughout her entire life. I'm not saying she was perfect, even though that's her maiden name, right? But she didn't offend anybody. She didn't say anything outrageous. She didn't write any weird poems to Vladimir Putin or anything. She just played great music, and she knew how to write great songs. And in the case of Lindsey Buckingham, you know, I think she said something like, those other two guys, they're happy, they're nice people, talking about Neil Finn and Mike Campbell, but they're not Lindsey. Lindsey needs to be here. And she also said a few things about Stevie Nicks, like, I think she regrets doing this. I think, you know, if she really thinks about this, that, you know, she probably feels bad about what she did to Lindsey Buckingham. Now, Stevie Nicks has never admitted that. Even when Lindsey had the heart issues and had to have surgery and all that, there was never any, oh, I'm sorry for what I did or what I said, because a lot of fans were putting these things together. like Lindsey took this so personally that it literally broke his heart. That's what I was hearing. And I think there may be some truth to that because it's before 2020 and we know what's starting to break people's hearts these days. And no, I'm not going to get into any theories about Christine McVie. She was 79 years old. We're just going to leave it there. Doesn't mean it's not plausible, but it's not on the table for me right now. What I'm most concerned about in this video is talking about how Christine McVie was loyal to Lindsey Buckingham, and she recognized that that band needed him more than he needed them to some degree. Like they needed him. He didn't need them. Although, you know, again, financially, sure, it's better for him to be in this band making lots of money. He can go out and do a solo tour. He doesn't have the solo catalog. He has some songs that he did in Fleetwood Mac. And if you combine that with some of his great solo material, yeah, you've got a concert, and it's a pretty good concert. But it's not nearly as lucrative as being in Fleetwood Mac. But Christine McVie knew this. She knew that Lindsey was very important to that band, and the production on these songs. You know, I don't think Christine McVie had an issue when she had an idea and Lindsey made it a better idea. That's what he was really good at. Go listen to I keep saying this, go listen to the Buckingham McVie album. That's an extension of like the Tango in the Night era to some degree, the way it's recorded. The songs are very meticulous, maybe not with the same level of melodic greatness as some of the band's prior material, but definitely if you listen to that album, it grows on you in time. And with the right marketing, yeah, it would have been on the radio, maybe at least on adult contemporary stations to some degree, especially if it has the name Fleetwood Mac on the album cover. And there was one person standing in the way of that. Just like there was one person who decided that Lindsey Buckingham shouldn't be in Fleetwood Mac anymore. That was a dumb move at this point in their career. Because guess what we were all deprived of? Seeing the rumors line up one more time. Put your petty grievances aside. Oh, he's always in my shadow. He's always stealing my thunder. He didn't like me at that Music Cares thing. And by the way, the entire band, I think, was mocking her at that. And maybe Lindsey was the ringleader of that. But that woman tends to go on and on. Did you see her Rock and Roll Hall of Fame acceptance speech? By the way, she didn't give any credit to Lindsey. Because if Lindsey doesn't say, hey, we're a package deal, then none of this happens to Stevie Nicks. None of it. Zero. So anyway, getting a little fired up here because it's just sad because Christine McVie is gone. So that rumors lineup is permanently disabled. It will never return. And it could have. That last tour could have been a tour with, and they may have been able to pull off another tour after that. We don't know. Everybody went their separate ways. It didn't really feel all that great at the end of it. You heard a lot of people saying, you know what? I'm sorry, at this stage in their career, to break the band up again and bring these two guys in, yes, with name ID, and then telling us that Neil Finn is the greatest songwriter because he wrote one incredible song. And look, I like Neil Finn. He's written a number of really good songs, but it was just like, Don't Dream It's Over. It's the greatest song ever written. And I'm thinking, no, it's good, but it's not that good. But see, this is what happens when you have to kind of build a narrative and sell the concert to everybody. And yeah, even though Lindsey's not going to be there, we've got Mike Campbell, who plays guitar, nothing like Lindsey Buckingham. And here we go again with, yes, I like Mike Campbell a lot as a guitar player. He was phenomenal in Tom Petty's band. And he's pretty good with this Dirty Knobs thing, even though everybody made fun of it at the time because of the name of the band. It's pretty good. I mean, he's not Tom Petty on lead vocals, but he does an okay job. He sounds like a heartbreaker because, he is a heartbreaker. And that's where he belongs. See, Stevie Nicks had this idea that Fleetwood Mac and Tom Petty, they're kind of like, no, they're not the same thing. Tom Petty had this Southern thing going on. Fleetwood Mac had a West Coast thing going on. And yeah, there is some overlap here and there, especially like on, say, Damn the Torpedoes and, a few other Tom Petty songs. But for the most part, it's like apples and oranges. And to bring Mike Campbell in and think that he's going to bring the same level of musical symmetry or whatever to the band, I think was, short-sighted. They're going for name ID. That's what they're going for. Here's a guy that and then we can do a Tom Petty song, which, look, it's a Fleetwood Mac concert. Do Fleetwood Mac material. And then we're going to do the Crowded House song. No. See, this is the new way of thinking with these all-star band connections. And I'm not talking about Ringo Starr's thing where this is going to be kind of like a hodgepodge of all these different artists, and it's kind of like hitting random play on Spotify or whatever. But I'm thinking if I'm going to go see Fleetwood Mac, I want to hear Fleetwood Mac. In fact, rather than hearing I Won't Back Down, which is a great song, but it's not a Fleetwood Mac song, I would rather hear a deeper Fleetwood Mac track, something I don't typically hear on the radio, because radio has become so barren and so ridiculous and so repetitive. But okay, I'm way off the track here. So, Lindsey has the heart attack, and Christine McVie supposedly reached out to him and said, hey, I miss you. The band isn't the same without you. I don't really have control of the politics here, being very diplomatic so she doesn't step on Stevie Nicks's toes, because Stevie was in control of everything, even though she did interviews later and said, no, this isn't my band. This is Mick's band. Okay, then throw this on Mick too a little bit. Mick has come around in the last year or two and said, hey, yeah, Lindsey's great, and I want to work with him again at some point. Well, guys, I think you missed your chance. Everybody, you missed your chance, because it's not going to be the same. You could do a tribute concert to Christine McVie. She deserves one. It's going to be like the Eddie Van Halen thing. Oh, we just can't get together. I think something has to happen for Christine McVie. She was well liked by everyone, whereas Eddie Van Halen had some issues there. And as I learned more about Eddie's relationships with people, there were a lot of people that just didn't like the guy. With Christine McVie, you hear a universal, yeah, she was the best. She was the best bandmate. She was the nicest person. And that's how she'll be remembered. And so getting some folks together, getting Stevie and Lindsey on stage together to pay tribute to Christine should be a thing. At this point, it should be a thing. You don't have to call it Fleetwood Mac. I mean, here's the deal. I get it. Christine left for a number of years, and the band did record that album in 2004, 2005 without her. However, was it as good? No, I think there was too much pressure on Stevie Nicks because Christine wasn't there to bring her great songs into the mix. But you listen to that Buckingham McVie, and that thing is just flows. Would have been a great Fleetwood Mac album. But we shall see if there's any kind of tribute to Christine McVie. And again, it's good, though, that Christine stuck up for Lindsey. She was the only one. She was the only one that did that, which, again, shows that she was a class act, and she'll be missed in more ways than one. All right, one more time. Cats in Space, Kickstart the Sun, baby. Cheap Trick, ELO, Queen, right here. All right. It's really good. I wouldn't keep talking about it. And no, nobody's paying me to say it. I mean, I don't even know that much about Cats in Space. I know they've been around for a few years, and everything they do is really good. That would be a perfect band to play on a radio station that wants to spice up their playlist a little bit. You know, you've heard the same songs over and over again. This would give you something new. You cram it in between two really well-known songs so people don't lose their marbles. You know, they're just like, oh, wow, what's this? I think I'm going to change. No, wait, maybe I'll listen to it, you know? So again, I used to do this stuff like program and, you know, you put the new song between the two familiar songs and sometimes it works. So in any event, big corporations, they don't care anymore. This is just all like fluff. It's like download the files from the mothership, and this is what you play on your radio station. That's what you do. All right. Before I go off on another tangent, I'm going to quit on this video, but I'll be back. I'm just quitting for now. And I'll see you soon.